Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Friday. We say thank God it's Friday, and that's what's wrapped up the week. It's Market Review, where we bring you the correlation and the nexus between the financial and capital markets as it relates to the economy. And it's one moment to also reflect on what's happening across the various exchanges and the whole ecosystem in the markets. It's Friday, 21st August 2020, and wrapping up the week, we'll look at the unlisted securities developments there and what's really happening. And let's first begin with a lineup of what we're going to discuss today. First, we'll be looking at the review of the previous week performance and activities of the unlisted securities on the NSD Securities Exchange. And then we would also give you some updates on some of the listed companies that we're having the annual general meetings and take a look at crowdfunding. It's one issue that is being pushed and brought to the front burner by the NSD. How would that help at this time in terms of driving the financial and capital markets? So let's begin with the review of the previous week, and first from the NSD. It set the precedence on the COVID-19 impact series it's been having. It's not just looking at the previous week, but also taking some series around various sectors of the economy and how they are being impacted by COVID-19. And for the real estate sector, NSD looks at it and says that sequel to the previous series, it is a known fact that the coronavirus pandemic has had a major impact on all sectors globally and locally. The real estate sector is not excluded from this impact. Some of the aspects of the real estate sector that have been affected are highlighted below. Commercial real estate has been greatly influenced by the whole disruptions. It has taken a major hit from the coronavirus pandemic and is taking a while to recover fully. The lockdown and social distancing regulations are severely influencing the demand for commercial properties because businesses struggle to retain their existing commercial space. The commercial real estate sector depends heavily on cash flow and is greatly influenced by low occupancy rates in the hotel sector due to the closure of commercial spaces because of the social distancing as well as the stay-at-home policies that was entrenched during the initial lockdown across the globe. Commercial real estate owners have made so much money collectively a year as the economy blossomed. Now, they are feeling the heavy blow dealt by the pandemic-fueled economic crisis, and this industry might be changed by it. Residential real estate has maintained its resilience, which is good to hear, to the COVID-19 pandemic. The need for shelter has and will always be in demand as the housing shortfall in the nation remains imminent. The need for relocation remains as online property listing companies record increased daily search for rental properties. However, the growth in demand for residential homes seems to hover primarily around affordable housing, both offered as fully constructed and off-plan packages. Even though the sector might not feel the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic now, especially in the second quarter of 2020, the impact could be felt before or at the end of the year. This is because individuals that have lost their jobs or that have had either salaries slashed are likely to have paid their rents in advance. This will ease the tension for now, at least to the end of the year. By the end of this year, individuals will not be able to pay rent or buy houses as planned. Well, let's see how it goes. I hope things improve. Co-working and office spaces are not left out in the struggle in the real estate sector. Before now, the demand for co-working spaces and office space in recent years has brought about substantial return for investors in real estate. However, due to the pandemic, this demand has fallen. In the long run, the demand for office spaces will be truncated in some ways as more people work from home. It is expected that many startups and small businesses that comprise the bulk of the demand for office spaces will master the art of remote work and find new ways to deliver their product and service offerings without physical presence. Now, the rate at which physical offices are used will likely drop in favor of complete remote work. Think about it. I mean, across the world, we're seeing companies now pushing for remote working experience. So what's going to happen to all those big, lush, lovely office spaces? Now, despite the devastating impact of the coronavirus on the global economy, risk-averse investors seeking high returns on their investments will see the real estate market as viable. The net asset value of real estate funds climbed to 45 billion naira as of April 24, 2020. That represented a 2% increase when compared to the 44.15 billion naira recorded on February 28, a day after Nigeria recorded its first COVID-19 case. There are various opportunities which are likely to arise within the post-recession housing sector. There will be more affordable housing projects with medium-term payments. Residential real estate will stabilize and rent prices will increase as individuals will rather rent than buy. And the NSD continues to support the real estate sector via its service offerings, which is the NSD Enterprise Portal and Venture Ramp. The platforms provide an opportunity for real estate investors to assess viable investment opportunities in the real estate sector and also assist entrepreneurs within the sector to raise funds to support their businesses. They will also support the growth and development within Nigeria and deepen the capital market by facilitating capital raise and liquidity for enterprises across various sectors through innovative products and service offerings. Nice to hear that from the NSD. Let's look at the year-to-date overview in terms of performance. The NSD OTC Securities Exchange market closed positively last week, year-to-date, as the market recorded an increase in performance. NSD Security Index year-to-date return rose by 2.28%. And the total volume traded year-to-date stands at 7,820,299,702 units in 979 deals, and the total value traded is 10,537,449,927.54. Let's give an overview of the previous week, 33. The exchange closed the week with a positive return, like we said earlier, on the NSI. The NSI return rose by 1.05% to close the week at 713.46 points, as against 706.07 points against the preceding Friday of July 29, 2020. In addition, week 33 saw NSD investors gain 5.43 billion naira in value. NSD OTC market capitalization closed at 524.08 billion naira compared to 518.65 billion naira against the preceding Friday, resulting from a positive movement of prices. There was a 106.58% increase in total value traded during the week, as week 33 saw NSD investors trade a total of 48,138,905.31 in value compared to 23,203,017.21 in the previous week. Total trade activity for the year is valued at 10,537,437,927.54 points. In the same pattern, volume traded during the week was 813,582 units compared to 1,706,734 units in the previous week, leading to a 49.36% decrease in trade volume compared to week 32. The total volume traded for the year is currently 7,820,299,702 units at the moment. Who are the top traded securities by volume? The week closed with Central Securities Clearing System PLC CSCS ranking top again among the 5 most traded securities by volume, and Friesland Campina Wamco Nigeria PLC as the 5th most traded stock by volume in the previous week. Market cap increased by 1.05% week on week to close at 524.08 billion naira. And this again shows how the market has been improving and taking shape in terms of the activities we see there. So CSCS once again continues to be a big driver and player in the unlisted security space, and that is very important and nice to note for the markets. NSD continues to create an enabler for companies to list in the listed securities that cannot access the main board market. And it is interesting to see how they're contributing to the value in deepening the market, particularly the support they roll out for various sectors across the economy. And it's very, very nice that this is happening from the NSD. And so beyond the interventions and advocacy discourse that comes from the NSD, there are several other areas that are of interest to the NSD markets. And we take a look beyond the previous week performance. Now let's look at some developments in the space, particularly what to expect in the coming weeks. The advances for the week were 2 stocks which closed the week with a positive movement in the price. That's Friesland Campina Wamco Nigeria PLC, which currently holds a market cap of 124 billion naira. They closed the week at 127 naira 5 kobo. That's took the share price, which was a 3.03% increase from previous close of 127 naira. The Niger Delta Exploration and Production PLC, which currently holds a market capitalization of 55.26 billion naira, closed the week at 275 naira, representing a 10.79 naira increase from the previous close of 304 naira 67 kobo. Who were the decliners for the week? Week 33 had decliners, and the decliners for the week you could see were really companies in various board sectors. And it just shows you again what's really happening, that this period of the challenges, we're seeing more information captured from the various exchanges, including the NSD. Now let's get to some activities. First, the Fan Milk PLC, which is listed on the unlisted securities market, will be having the annual general meeting. They've already done the closure of register at the 13th of August, and at 20th of August, it was both days were inclusive. Now it is time for them to hold their annual general meeting, and that will be next week, August 27th, 2020. So they'll be holding the executive meeting at the lounge of Radisson Hotel, Ikeja, Isaac John, GRA. Also, Air Liquid Nigeria, which is also listed on the NSD Securities, will hold their annual general meeting. And we've already had the closure of register, 29 July 2020 to Thursday, 30th July 2020. All dates were inclusive. And so they're having their annual general meeting on Thursday, August 27, 2020. Venue is 104 106 Ladipo Street, Matori Industrial Estate, Matori, Lagos. And that meeting is holding by 2 p.m. In the afternoon. And it will be just for all stakeholders and shareholders to be taking note of that. In this period, we just want to remind you that yesterday, the first Security and Exchange Capital Market Committee webinar held by the Security and Exchange Commission, chaired by Dr. Lamido Yuguda. And various issues were discussed at that meeting, which I also had in attendance, the CEO of NSD, by virtual webinar, Mr. Bola Jomale in attendance, alongside our capital market leaders. And of interest is discussions around innovations and developments and progress so far in the capital market since the year. This is the first CMC virtual webinar meeting that was held, and we hope to see more updates in terms of what happened and how the market is going to move forward, considering the developments in the Nigerian capital market ecosystem. So Dr. Lamido Yuguda had his first meeting as the chairman of the CMC, and of course there were various inputs across the trade groups, like the Challenges of Stockbrokers, the Association of Securities and Dealing Houses of Nigeria. We also had various other groups involved in the meeting, the Association of Issuing Houses of Nigeria, also in that meeting. We hope that this first CMC will mark a new chapter in terms of providing enablers and regulatory processes and approach to improving market activities and processes. Also, the impact of the recently signed Company and Allied Matters Act by President Muhammadu Buhari comes to the fore, particularly to activities of the unlisted securities, the NSD Securities PLC. We know that the NSD has the NSD Enterprise Portal, where it tries to matchmake investments and potential businesses. So this, once again, should create an enabler for investors who come into the Nigerian markets and want to see viable potential companies. There are various areas in which the KAMA Act can really support the activities in the unlisted securities. We would bring that to you subsequently, but just to say that this also has a far-reaching impact on the activities of the NSD as we continue to explore ways of improving activities in the market and making it attractive for investors, which is the overall goal and hallmark of the Nigerian capital market ecosystem. So the activities in NSD, of course, the unlisted securities comes to the fore, and more legislations and effective regulations are key to ensuring that the potentials of this market are unlocked and they can really continue to fare well. We look forward, as we had a conversation recently with the managing director of the NSD, Mr. Bola Jomale, to some very interesting activities there, particularly the listing of the NSE PLC when the full process of the digitalization is now stamped, sealed, and we begin to see the impact. That will be a major one, just like you're seeing the Central Securities Clearing System PLC, which is a major player in the unlisted security space. So we hope to see that and how that will transform the market landscape NSD. So we'll give you updates on what transpired and the key decisions taken as we get the updates from the Securities and Exchange Commission from its first Capital Market Committee virtual meeting, which held yesterday. Updates will be coming today for the capital market correspondents, and we hope to get those updates from the DG of SEC, Dr. Lamido Yuguda. So beyond the unlisted, every ecosystem is in the plan, and market surveillance is going to be key for SEC and ensuring that they can regain the confidence of the retail investors and the populace. So when you want to invest in the capital market in Nigeria, you now have confidence that your investments are guaranteed. And that will wrap for today's edition of the WebTV Market Review. It's been an interesting week discussing developments around the capital markets with interviews and analysis around various segments of the market, from the equities to the fixed income and bonds markets, down to the commodities, private equity, and even down to the unlisted securities. Every part of the ecosystem is captured on your WebTV Market Review. So I'd like you to send your comments and views to news@prochange.com. Just tell us how you feel about the program and some updates or what you'd like to see happen more. We would like to have those interactions with you. Also, watch our videos. Log on to www.prochange.com to watch our videos, read our news stories and reports. And this period, we want to re-emphasize to all investors and the public that please beware of online platforms that promise you 100 to 200% returns, but are not registered or regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They are all out to rip you of your hard-earned money, earnings, and savings, and we don't want you to fall prey to those schemes. That will be all for this week and this edition. We look forward to engaging you further in the new week on Monday, brand new week next week. Thank you for watching, being a part of this program. Hope to see you more. And please, even as you have a lovely weekend ahead, don't forget to stay safe.